Okay, so we on page Kuflamet Ches, Shur Maseles Shene Zemize, which is on 10 lines on the bottom. So we discussed the whole arichos about the yachas of the way the keiches and the nefesh itself is abstract. Then the keiches, the hour of the nefesh is more in the goof, and then there's a whole bunch of development. One laws to the one level descends to the other, and they're all interconnected and intertwined and work together. Even the SFL that seals. So the nimshal of this is in the SFL that seals. Shampoo is pashas our merits of Amatzel. Similar what we said about the neshama with the keiches. Same thing. The SFLs are also pashas an extension of the merits of Amatzel. The sense of in a shach shumteres feels well. Just like I said when you get the nefesh, same thing with Milo, the atmos itself, and the Avashas himself, the concept of sphere doesn't apply, it's not shiur. Gam sheyesh shosh spheres, not so the source, the root of the sphere is like an atmos. I shall not press with nikeres klar, let press with focus klar. The way the spheres are in atmos, they're not in a state of recognizable type of being, and it's not. There's not the division. Only when we talk about the the extension, the expansion of a radiance from the inside. There, that low level, the inside of the earth, that we can apply the concept of Schalkos and spheres. Vimi Yesam Kulam Raka despite just like we said in the Kechas and Nefesh, despite the fact that the spheres are only all over, only an external radiance and expansion, but within that our gufa there's various division of levels. The difference in nimis and there's some of deep inner and outer. The one that's closer to its source, closer to Atmos, which is also in that level, the earth is a pnimi, it's a more deeper inner light. Which is similar to what explained earlier when you get to the Meichen in Chabad and Midas. Meichen and closer to the Nefesh, it's more pnimi, but the Nefesh is more in the Meichen. And in the low level, it's more in Midas, Midas further, etc. Michael Lamailos is similar to what he said in the Kechas, similar to that also in the Nimshal Lamailos. She has given Pnechel Chabad, Shemat, Nesmalab, Nimis Galvadega, Shemat, Malamadega. The biggest of Chacham, the Meichen of Chacham Vindu Das and the Sphere Shalmaila are in a higher, more inner level compared relative to the levels that are below them. And from the Chabad, from Chabad Lamaila in the spheres Chabad, there's a descent and a drawn down to the level of Midas Zo. It's similar also and more specifically, more detailed. There's an abundance of division. Just like we said earlier when we get to the nefesh, that the Taryag when the Keiches is Amachabarim Shasam Gidim, there's the 613 types of attributes. Similar to that is also Lamayla. Because to be the Rabbi Shobalil, and actually it says clearly in Zayah that was quoted earlier, the Be'arihantin Chadach, that in the level of Arihantin there's only one path. ובזו מספר לתייג האחר. ברגע זו, it's divided into 613, because of כל אורחס הוויה חו, I think it says אמס, כל אורחס הוויה, all the paths of the Ebershter is אמס, ואין רמח קודם ושסה לא יסס. This תייג 613 paths, the way the Milo, these are on top of page Koflametes now. These are the Tag mitzvahs, the Ramah assessment, the Shata mitzvahs, the whole mitzvah yesh lo sheir shemalka miyuchad b'eretz pnimi zo. Each mitzvah has its own unique source and root in the specific areas of zo. Again, it says similar to what it said in the Get Keches HaNefesh, that all the Keches are intertwined and the one is included, invested in the other, and one is melubash in the other. All of them descend one from the other, develop, evolve one from the other, invest in each other. Like it says in Kabbalah about the Sphere Shalom Ayla, the concept of slaps about the Patzufim Shalom Ayla, which are the shapes, the forms, the faces. In the spheres, they are mislavish. That was it. Avo, for example, there's an expression in Peretz Chaim, Avo malbishim lezoyes darachan. The Abba ve'ema, which is Chachma and Bina, they include the hands of Arachant. I said a few times. Kabbalah uses these images of the body, the parts of the body, limbs, as a way to describe and illustrate the Madrigas Lamaila. So we say that the Avo, they are malbishim, they are called the Zoyes. In other words, the Zoyes, the Avo, Zoyes are the hands are lower. Sorry, the Arachantin. So the hands of Arachantin, I'm slavish, and the Meichin of Avoveim. So then that Gufa, he goes into a more elaborate discussion of that little lotion of how the former visions is the Arich. And colors like that Atzilus and Pnes Arachant, the Shesh Makar Atzilus. All the areas of Giluim, which means all the spheres of Atzilus, all the areas, their source is in Arachantin. Madrig of Arachantin, Kesser, same as a Kesser, but that which is Sheir Shumakar Atzilus. Arachantin is the source and root of Atzilus. And Isabet Chaim, the Betikun, who, the Elamat Tikun, what happened, says in the Chaim Kabbalah, what happened, the Elamat Tikun, Shenis Arach, parts of a Kesser, so Arachantin, Arach Lashon Arichos, which can also signify extension, get longer, to reach further. So Arachantin means Shenis Arach, parts of a Kesser, that the sphere of Kesser, the shape of Kesser, got longer. B'chol shiur erech hatzilus, chol madrigas hatzilus, which is a Kesser. So that's the lashon of time. That the parts of Kesser got longer, the entire length, which is again we use very physical description to illustrate and explain a concept. Just the concept itself is actually quite abstract and not subtle, but the way it's Chaim in general, Kabbalah in general uses such very physical words to express it. So he said the lashon it's Chaim is that this parts of Kesser got longer. That is in Chaim. So it says Pshat, Chaim, Indian. Shenisarach, Primus Kesser, what is in Shenisarach? What is the concept of Shenisarach? What does it mean that long? And Shenisarach is parts of the Chalkus. When you say something got longer, it means it expanded. What does expanded mean? He says in our case, the Chalkus, the division. Like we said earlier, parts of is not like sphere. Sphere is only Pamachas Yudiyut. Nisarach means parts of Kamapam Yudiyut. So this is what the Kesser itself is in a way of Yud Miyut Kamapam. Acha Nasa Be'erech. which is really in a way such a division and a lowering, getting more into details. Second, the earth of Kester became so detailed and divided that it can reach, that it can be in the level that Silas can be mislabish, and then but okay, so that's generally what the science says. But generally, Kester lowered itself in a state that all that spheres of Atzilus can relate to it, can not relate, mislabish. But within there's a difference. You have an Islamic, so there is a difference in the Meichin. The Meichin relate to Meichin of Atzilus, they relate to the earth of Kesa and the law. What's the difference? That Meichin who Mabishuknes has so is that the Meichin, the Chachma Bina, which said earlier called it Avo, Abba Ve'emer, Chachma Bina, they relate, they establish the Zois that. Zois means the hands. The hands are relatively higher than the body. Hagas Malbishim Sein Tachtein is the Bina. Mashenken Hagas, which is the law of Adagas and Atzilus, Chachma Chesed Go Tiferes, the Midas. The Malbishim Sein Tachtein is the Bina, which is much lower than Zoe is the Arish.
Isn't it usually that Chesed Geura the hands? That's what also we always the right hand and the left hand. No, the Chesed Geura is always the right hand and the left hand. Now we're saying
no, that's
Chachma Bina.
We're talking one madrega to the other. So he uses the word Zoyes. It means basically the Chabad, what level of Arich can Chabad relate to Chesed Gvura, which is Zoyes, right? Chesed Gvura of Arich, Arihantin. Schenken the Zayin Tachteines, the Midas of Atzilus, they can only relate to the Zayin Tacht, not to the Zoyes of Arich, but the Zayin Tachtein is the Bina, which is much lower. V'seicham ha'oras can is Arich. The Zayin Tachtein is the Bina also have Arich, which is much less than the way the Chabad, Malbishim, the Zoyes, the Arich direct. So, wie kommt Bina rein das? He says in Chatzi Igor, v'seicham ha'oras can is Arich. They get to the intermediary of Bina. The Bina, as within it, there are of Arich. There himself may have a Chacham skill with the Chaloin that we learned that shtickle it's Chaim earlier also. It's Chaim. There himself may have a Chachma, Bekirov Makar, Bebina, Berichok Makar, or Bezod, the Chaloin, Bemalchus, the Nek. It's interesting. The most important thing it doesn't bring you the Bebina Chinas Richok Makar. Why? So that in that when they explain that it's Chaim that being the Barichuk Mokim that then it's mass, but still the male the Horas Arachanti. The male when Chagas Malbishim Zayin Tachna is the Bina, it's still that they get Arachanti also. So that's it's a description of the way the spheres interact with each other.
I'm sorry, just before you go further. So it's saying that the Asilut, when it's in the Parsuf, the Chachma Bina of the Asilut goes lower to the Zeros, correct? That's what, in other words, when it's
not low, no, it's not low, it's higher. So it's the Arich. Chachma Bina Chatzilus and Malbishim, they are the conclude, so is Arich, which is way above them. It's like the student. In another martial is that the student gets only the lower level of the teacher. So the Chachma Bina Chatzilus Malbishim, but what level of Arich did they get? Only the Zoyis. Zoyis means the hands, not the Moichin of Arich, only the Zoyis. That's what it says, right? And that's as far as that's the Chachma Bina of Atzilus get the Zoyis, the Arich. Thinking the lower levels of Atzilus, the design Tachtenis of Atzilus, the Ches Gvura, they get a lower level than Zoyis Dar. They get the design Tachtenis the Bina, which is only a hour of Arich.
So they go further down in the parcel.
Right. Further.
Thank you.
So it takes us back to the marshal for Nefesh to explain that more specifically. We learned earlier that the Motzen is mislabish b'meichin the manig is a meichin. Meichin zayin tachtenes the arich mislabshin b'meichin the chub. So you see earlier I called it Zoyes the arich. Now I called it zayin tachtenes the arich, which is really, generally speaking, the same concept. The design tachtenes the arich hunting is compared to us. Remember in other places, see this. Two madrigas in Kesser, arich and ati are compared to Rotzen and Tainus. Arich hunting is Rotzen. So just like in the Rotzen, we explained earlier in the marshal of the Nefesh, that the Rotzen, the interest that the Neshama has to relate, to express itself, that creates eventually kind of seichel, that person, because it has interest, so he applies his mind to it and he analyzes. So in the interest group, it's a low level of the interest. Design tachtenis. That's what he says. That Kamoya Rotzen is slavish. The Moichin, mind is a Moichin, just like in the Nefesh, the Rotzen lowers itself into the Moichin and controls the Moichin. The Rotzen tells us what we should analyze and what we should apply our intellect to. So that's stage one, the way it works in the sphere. Then the next stage, the Moichin Shalamayla in the spheres, the Moichin of the Chabad, they are mislabish and zoch, like it says in the Kabbalah, the Nehi, the Avon, nothing Moichin Zoch. That's how it is, the lowest expression. That's what Netzach Bahayden says in Pasach train shake it, that's the legs. So that's the lowest expression of Avo that reaches the Zoh. Just like in Arich, only the lower level, the Zoyes of Arich, reach Avo. So when Avo gets to Zoh, it's only the Nehi, the Avo Nasa Mechel of Zoh. The next step is mislapshim ba'isies and achshav d'ma'aser mislev ha'ochel. Now it brings what it says in Kabbalah that the next step is the midas, the Zoh. Zoh is mislapshim malchus. That's what it says in Kabbalah. What does it mean? And in Kabbalah Gufa, in Malchus Gufa, the two levels of Malchus, Leah and Rachel. Leah is machshava and Rachel is dibur. Melee says. So again we're talking we're talking in the spheres Lamayla. The spheres Lamayla, the Isis Machshavah Dibur Ma'aseh, which are the two Madrigas Mas. Okay, but you put in Ma'aseh also. So I think Ma'aseh is part of Rachel. Machshavah is Leah, and Dibur, Dibur is Rachel. Here it says Ma'aseh also. So that's similar to the concept which we described in the Nefesh Adam. No, just like we described yesterday in the Ma'imah that the Ma'isa, no, the action and the movement of the body, of the hands, is really an extension, expression of the Midas. So that's Marumas in the it says Ma'aser no because of Af Yodi Yos the Oretz. The pasuk says my hand means the Kayach Ma'aser that created the Oretz was Kayach HaPayla Lekiv and Ivorim on its own. So generally, what is described from the beginning of this page till now, it is described similar to what we described yesterday in the Koiches HaNefesh, the entire state of division and the descent from the state of Etzem HaNefesh till you reach the lowest level of Koich HaZrika, and everything in between. It's similarly described here the way it works in the Nimshal and the spheres. It starts with the Tarichanti, which is the Lux, then it reaches all the way, then it starts with the Osa itself, then the Lux, then it reaches all the way to creation, to the creation of the physical world. So what is the concept? Just like we said in the Marshal in the Nefesh, it's similar in the spheres called in a slapshot. So what does the slapshot mean? The higher Madriga controls and rules the lower Madriga. Like we said earlier in the Koich, the Meichen control the Midas control the Mashal, the etc. This is the general concept of the Ein Sof is Malubush, is included in the spheres that tilts. Yesh was a Shluki. And there are a lot of divisions, like I said earlier in the Shama. But here it says the interesting thought. Bazmanim, they saw it. I don't remember, in the marshal of also say Zmanim. No. It's there, but okay. Here is an interesting way. The way it operates, the way the sphere that seals are manifested in our experience, in our reality. There's a division. What's the division? It says, was meine Weise hat sein mehr Evangel wie es mir so Bach mis nagen kommt das sein. There's a time, there's specific times, which is called the Esots, and time of a special time. Then there's the Gila for himself shines very strong. Mis nagen kommt das Gila sein is both all the Nivoim operate in a way that they feel the Gila. So the Chal says there's Esots, there's Chilukim. Sometimes there's Esots, sometimes there's no Esots. The point is that Tilas do most. First, he just gave us the general, the Chlolos. First, he said the general concept that the Chlolos, it's a. We see the division between the time that there's Eitzot and time there's not no Eitzot. The point is not very good. So Shamaych not is not just no midas. I'm managing with midas. From being telling midas, telling Shamaych, leads to midas. So the way the Meich and the Milo up control and rule the midas, then the midas are telling to the Meich. And the Chelis Labs I'm not sure. Jose, Kol Madrigas parts, parts. So all these. It's in the whole thing of Esots, and is interesting how it came in here. I'm not sure how it fits in this picture. I understand, but I don't know why it's brought here. Let's think into that all more. The general concept that he says here that Kasha calls there Kasha Kol Madriga when the first parts of it's really hard to stop it. Can't follow. I'm starting to there. And the Malbish, which means the lower Madriga, and the bottom of Malbish, it's
why that has to be the kind of farso? Why do not this concept of etroson is saying Dalka when it's
not Esos, and he's not talking about Esos anymore. He's talking about Hotis and Madrigas that Tzil, Shamaycha, this Lapshus, and Mamidas Manhigim. Concept of that each Madriga rules the Madriga below it, the whole interaction, so that's parts. What we said earlier about parts. Parts means Yud miyud kama pa'amim. There's an expansion and division, big development, like till Taryag, from one into Taryag. That's the pattern. It's Riba is Chalkus, Rislabish the Kelim, Arislabish, Zem, Amabish, Batam, Lubash, Liskuf, Yefan. Okay, so that is how we describe what parts of it. Truth is, it started earlier in page, you see in page Kuflamet Zayin, Yuvan Zel Derech Moshe, started the whole division, the whole description, what parts. It's all part of this, of explaining the different sphere and parts of it. Sphere, it's more in an abstract way. That's why it's an element to you. An element taking parts. Parts it means that all the levels, all the stages of expression are interconnected, and one is melubash in the other, one is controls the other, one rules the other. There's a whole, everything is it's all like an orchestra. Everything works in tandem. Everything works together.
So the call there goes back to Lamed Zayin, starting from there?
No.
No, it said the call there kasher hu madrig b'chanat farso. So what's the call there? Call there is referring to what?
But it's referring to the what it said. Chem bepoidas madrigas that zil shamay. Ich nicht abschluss mit das madrigim samidas bei Lamay. Chem beslapsh samidas nachshob di vormais. That's really the sikkum, the summary of what we learned till now. That in the world of Tikkun, everything is there's interaction. Calls there, so that's what calls them. It calls them, but all this type of interaction between the spheres is really an expression of the parts.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The reason I'm asking is because it says on top, it says and then it goes to the explanation of the whole process of the
parts of Hakesa, yes. So over there on top, we talk about parts of Hakesa. This particular type of parts. But the Chalal says the concept of, so he started when again, actually, parts of Hakesa. The Hakesa is in a way of parts of. If some parts of means division, it's parts of so parts of is another term to describe division and interaction and cooperation, and this is what parts of means. That all the spheres and all the meters and all the koiches interact with each other and affect each other and control and rule each other. All this is the concept of Yesha. Remember, so we started earlier about the different Igurim and Yesha. It goes back to that language. This parts of means Yesha. Yesha means direct line from top to bottom. That's the union of Tikkun. These parts of that should be kesher v'chiba kol hatzfirot shemislabshim zeh mizeh b'zeh. So the parts of it in the way of Yesha, that means a direct connection between the spheres, that each one is melubash in the other. In the Shashim explains this concept. That all the spheres are interconnected, kesher v'chibu. It's like a direct line, but one connects to the other. But okay, so this is the concept of Yesha. Igurim is the way to tell you that each one lives in its own world. There's no interaction. There's no kesher. Hashem and Tikkun is Yesha. There's a line that one connects to the other, one interacts with the other. In a Isana Maila Yesha Igurim. So the truth is, he says, it starts a new discussion to explain the mile of Tikkun of a Toyu, Yesha, Igurim, parts of a sphere. It's another point is, in addition to this advantage, that's a Tikkun of a Toyu, that all the spheres are interconnected. There's another advantage that you find in Tikkun of a Toyu. The Masha Kosov Sefer Tzir, notes, Tchilosim is Sefer Tchilosim, at the top and bottom have a special connection and bind. That's only the Dakubiyation. The ain't nimmt a Figurim. In the Madrigas of Figurim, which is Toyu, we don't find that concept of the connection of the lowest and the highest. The Tchilosim mistake.
But physically it is Fakir, no? Physically in the
No,
circuit.
okay. We're not talking about physically. Okay. Yeah, okay. Physically, I'm not really interested in shit. Okay, well, let's see what he says. Maybe that will. So to explain this concept of the and the advantage of it, so that they also take us back to the Mashal Kechas HaNefesh. When the keiches of the nefesh are divided and broken down and invested and melubash in the Eivah Guf, each of the keiches in a specific vessel, specific limb, so there is a top and bottom. Beginning and end. Top and bottom. The general division is that the Meichin, that is Roish Kol Madrigas, that's the highest of them. That's the most, the best of them. Hashenk and the Koyach Hiluch, that's the lowest. Canal, the keiches, each keiches have pnimis chitzanis. They are kesher v'chibosh v'keiches v'stayf. But זה canal mitzvah kulam ayel guf echad. That's one point was made earlier. That there's reish was safe and they were slavish. We turn into one being, into one body, to one shiur. In addition to that, yesh gam kein, there's another point that we see in this scheme, the way Keiches HaNefesh operate. Yesh gam kein is a mile of Keiches HaYiluch Sheberegel. There's an advantage. The Keiches HaYiluch Sheberegel, the ability of the feet to walk, has a special advantage over all the rest of the body. What is it? Mashmamit the feet, number one, they can stand the head up. The head cannot stand up unless the feet stand up. And also maybe the ability to walk moves the head from place to place. The head on its own doesn't have that capacity. The head cannot stand for a while. Interesting. It says manma. The head doesn't have the capacity to stand up, and the feet, and also cannot walk from place to place, so move from one location to the other. So we see in the world of tikkun, in the world of parts, where the keiches are developed into full-blown form of Adam, Tzir Adam, the raglayim, the lowers, have a certain advantage of that the Reish doesn't have. They can stand it up and they can move it from place to place. This advantage that the Haglaim have, that the Tachten has, it's only when the Keiches are in a state of Isgalus, expression. Like when The way the koiches are in a state of kol v'nefesh, they are contained, they are in a state of potential within the nefesh. In that stage, there's first of all, Einem sees koiches that they're not in a state, they're not tangible being of attributes. Not no. There's no mitzvahs. You can't say one is the beginning, one is the end. There's nothing there. It's all potential. Then another interesting thing that we learned a few times, in the stage of potential, there's no interaction. There's no connection. We can understand it also practically. Let's say a person in real life, when he expresses a certain talent, let's say talent of learning, of drawing, so in that, so there's a bunch of parts of his personality that are interacting here. We have the mind, the foot, the feelings, this talent to draw. But when it's stated potential, you can say that the potential seichel is connected to the potential meters. It's not instead of potential, each one has potential for everything. Potential seichel, potential meters. You can't say the potential for seichel is so the potential of meters, because there's no souls there. Everybody just is in a state of kol. So that's the way it is in the way it's in the state of in the potential state. Not only that, when these koiches atzmi, when they are expressed directly in a way of atzmis and klolis, which we said at various times, the marshal to that is shas simcha, the specific state of the person, the specific state of simcha gdoila. Each koiches, the koiches atzmis are misgalim, that they are also Einlam kesher chibo zelazeh. So there's really no interaction between them. Each one is expressed directly. So when they express themselves in directly, not one with the other, so each is its own thing. The Reish is Reish and Sefer Sefer. Kamari Mamashal says, because in that, when we evaluate the koiches, when they express themselves, not when they interact with each other, when each one is expressed directly, when we compare and evaluate the value of the koiches, the ability, the capacity of intellectual expression, and the capacity of the foot to walk, and koiches is way higher than the koiches. What we said earlier, that the regel does have an advantage, that he can walk and he can move. So in that state, from that perspective, when the regel walks and moves the reish, so the regel is the reish. Regel is the above. It's not say to us. Kein kasher koiches in be'elam she'einu specific ain't kasher people saying that. When there's no actual expression, and it's in a state of pure potential, and there's no connection, so then we evaluate the way the koiches are on their own. Only when they express themselves in a tangible way. Only then, only when they express themselves. And the way they express themselves, they interact with each other, not like with just a simcha. Each one expresses is expressed in a direct way, but all this is expressed in the way they interconnect. That's what we explained earlier. כאשר כל כרך וספרס, המסרים בישחק, שזה קשה, זה בזה המנהיג עם זה. When each koyach is the way that is a part, which means there's a Yisrael, about the division, which makes the connection of the koyachs with each other. Slap, Shomanig, Misad, and Kula, and the Kola koyach and Asam who pass of Echad. All it's dark. Yes, when Islam Zesh, Koyach Mashim is there, but I don't know. Only when the koyachs are actually divided, interact, and they unite. Only then can we see that advantage of the lower koyach. That each koyach adds perfection to the other. And the regel, the food, adds. He fulfills with the
Complete.
What?
Completes.
Completes what the Reish doesn't have. That's the real expression. We can see there's not, it can identify the beginning with the end. Only in that stage, when the koyachs are operating in that way, do we see this advantage of the Reish. So the Meile, he repeats, interesting, he started saying it, but he repeats himself and he elaborates more and more. So again, he repeats what he said before, but he says the two conditions that we need, that we should recognize that sometimes the regular of a Meile over the Reish. What are the two conditions? Aleph, number one, that the koyachs have to be in a state of expression, not in a state of potential, like מה שקוראים בנפש, גם לא כמו שהתחנו קודם באלדן, שאין אדם כkoyach different polos, not the way they're contained in the nefesh, or contained within each other. Each koyach has to be fully expressive. No, that's not number one. The first condition. But now a base, second condition, that not only are they expressed, but they're expressed in the way they're interacting, they're connected and bound together. Only when that happens do we see in the Eastern the advantage of the lower madriga over the higher madriga. Okay, so again, it was very long. He started the marshal in the bottom of page 4. He reached all here, a little more than half a page, 3/4 of a page, to describe how only in the madriga of parts of do we have the union of the mila of the milas are regular Reish. The bottom has an advantage over the top. Making Yuvans is going back to the Nimshal, the spheres of Mila. The Prince Ayesha, the Tika, Shanastan is parts of the level of Yesha, which is parts of that spheres, by the Frag, the Earth, the Cave, the Scarf, and the Harmons, the Preservation about something that was there. When the spheres are in such a way that they're all there's the bond of division and interaction and connection. Until all the spheres together are in a state of parts of Sholem, a fully developed shape. Only then that they have this perfection, this mile of 8,000 safe and 7,000 that the bottom and the top are connected. This is called the Zois, and we believe that in the safe cloud. In such a way of fiscal, in such a way of combination that we can see the difference in the bottom and the top. The initiation of the Reish was safe, there is still the concept of Reish was safe. In a Iskalos, the way they interact and the way they combine with each other is that the low madriga, the regel, is much safe as the end completes, right? The end completes the beginning, and the beginning is makabel from there. It brings the idea. Okay, we finish with the marshal, practical marshal. When mitzvahs, mitzvahs are different from mitzvahs. Earlier we spoke about in the spheres about the Taryag, so the in of Taryag, it's in Taryag mitzvahs. So we see in mitzvahs, it says that the mitzvahs, mitzvah is the actual fulfillment of the mitzvahs. Mitzvah has an advantage of the kavanah, of the intent. Kamei mitzvah tzedakah, shenasin alidei zeh, meichem v'li b'zakin elef ha'mkaf. That's a famous expression of the Alter Rebbe in Terah, the first page. The second column, it said an expression which Chassidus uses a lot of places. The Rebbe spoke about it very many times. That the heart and mind of the person gives tzedakah become more refined. 1,000 times more. Like always says, the people support Torah, people give the financial means that they should be able to learn Torah. They have an advantage over the people who learn Torah. We just brought in a practical expression, manifestation, example, where we see the mile of the seif over the life, that the actual giving of the tzedakah, supporting Torah, has an advantage over learning. That's why Nasa when he was after person gives tzedakah, his own mind and heart become much more refined. All right, continue tomorrow.